For the oral history project, I interviewed my piano teacher, Ms. Marila Kapica, who is from Poland. We talked about the life in Poland when the country was ruled by the Russian communists. Ms. Kapica, please briefly introduce yourself, including where you're from, when you moved to America, and what you do now.
My name is Marila Kapica, and I am from Warsaw, Poland. We, with my husband and my son, came to live in United States in October 28, 1982. Right now, I am teaching mainly privately. Thank you.
So you're from Poland. After World War II, Poland was forced to rule by the Communist Party controlled by the Russians. How different was the life in Warsaw compared to the Republican life in the United States?
Well, it was no freedom for the decision of the company. All companies were monopolized by government. Government was ruled by Russian officials. Sometimes they have Polish names with Polish biographies, but they did not speak Polish even. So there was no way to grow economically well and, of course, politically well. People were trying to live everyday life as well as they could. So we had blooming black market, and because of that, many people could survive.
So you attended a music school in Poland. Please tell us about the experience at the music school.
Music schools in Poland were set up as an example of Russian music school, where were excellent. We had amateur music schools for kids who would like to learn the music without being on certain level, and we have professional music schools which were very limited in numbers. It was very hard to get to them and even harder to finish, but they prepare in excellent way professional musicians.
Were you a teacher like before you came to America?
Yes, I was teacher in Poland too. I was teaching in music school. It was called Lyceum of Music. It was a very high-level professional school that it was very hard to get and stay and finish. And actually, it was almost automatically prepared for professional career. The music schools in Poland were very different, and they were completely subsidized by government, so they were free for everybody. Most of the time, the music subjects were in much smaller groups than usual, like 4 or 5 people. Also, the individual lessons in my case, I was teaching violin. They were twice a week, and we didn't count the time because the effect, the result of the competition that kids were going was the end for our goal. So it was very rewarding school and very hardworking for both teachers and students, but also very, very good. We had also ballet school, one in Poland, that it was so hard to stay and make regime of everyday life with discipline of eating, that it was curiosity, but also very well prepared for the future ballet people, including weighting each child every day, and according to what they ate, what they weighed, they were given the food slightly more rich in calories, or they were put on diet.
Wow, that's very interesting way of regulating weight.
Yeah.
Okay. So, how did you acquire the recordings or sheet music of the foreign composers?
Mainly by using friend of the friend of other friend who went to West and was able to bought such a music. If we didn't have edition of our Polish editor.
So previously you talked about the black markets and you just talked about how friends helped out to get the music. So it seems like there are many black markets or illegitimate businesses, so to speak. How did the well, what could you get from the black markets?
Everything. It's the matter of the price. You could get food, you could get meat, that it was limited, so people could not get much as they would like to. You could get foreign clothes, you could get foreign cars, even, and you can go get the books, music that was not edited in Poland, or it was uh, not allowed to be edited in Poland because of Russian censor.
So how did Russians enforce their laws? Like how did was black market a serious crime?
It was a very serious crime, but actually Russians they did not enforce very much because it was up to Polish police or government officials to fight with that. But everybody wanted to live comfortable, so really in this point black market was not very much persecuted by government.
Um, well, have you ever bought something from the black market or like not black market but like illegitimate methods?
All the time.
Oh, okay. Wow. Um, so how did you and Polish people feel about the Russians? How did you thought about
We
them?
hated them because they tried to rule us.
Were there a lot of anti-communism or anti-Russian movements?
We did have very many demonstrations. They were never ending very cruelly because the diplomatic capacity of the leaders from both sides, but they were there quite often.
So you came to America, actually first to the Mexico, then to the United States, before Poland became a democratic country. Was it easy to immigrate here?
Well, actually, it was not a migration. My husband and me, we came to Mexico to work temporary, and it was the certain organization in Poland called Pagard that sent artists, musicians, and ballet people to work outside, and of course, we had to pay taxes back to Poland. So this was the way how they were importing people outside to make some kind of profit. So this was the way how we went to Mexico. And the same way we came to United States. After a few years, because it was big pressure from my husband's work to apply for green card, finally we apply. It was problem with hiring the lawyer all the time to extend permit for work.
So, did you ever go back to Poland, excuse me, after you moved to America?
Yes, I was just once in 1995 to remind my son how Poland looks. But since that, we didn't have time and occasion to go there. Our family is deceased completely, practically from both sides, so we don't have excuse to visit them. Then maybe within few years when we will retire, then we have more time to go there.
So when you went back in 95, how different was Warsaw compared to when you left in 82?
I didn't see any difference in except that the stores were full of merchandise and they have this very luxurious stores built up like Dior or other high quality firms that they were setting up in Poland their own representatives.
When government changes, usually there are some changes in policies or like currency, like money or like market system. Was there any difference in the market?
As long as I was able to see this within 6 weeks, it was confusing because old money was there and new money was there at the same time. So this transition with changing the currency was not very painful for people.
Okay. Do you still hear news from Warsaw or Poland? Do you still get some like news or current issues?
Yes. Sometimes, yes. Usually through my Polish friends that they live here.
Okay, that was a very interesting interview with you. Thank you so much for your
You're
time.
welcome very much.